The ranch gate swung open with a creak that echoed across the dusty plains of Montana. And there I was, Alex Harlan, stepping into a world I thought would save me from the mess of my life back in Chicago. I'd lost my job in the city, my apartment, and worst of all, my sense of direction after a brutal breakup that left me questioning everything, including my own hidden desires. But nothing prepared me for the shock of overhearing my new boss, ranch owner Tom Whitaker, in a heated whisper with his foreman, Jake Riley, confessing a love that could shatter this conservative community. I froze behind the barn that first evening, the scent of hay and horse sweat thick in the air. Tom's voice was low but urgent. "Jake, we can't keep this up. My wife's suspicious, and the town's already whispering." Jake's reply cut through me like a knife. "Then end it with her, Tom. We've hidden long enough." My heart pounded as I backed away, realizing I'd stumbled into a secret that could upend lives, including my own, because deep down, I knew I was drawn to Jake in ways I couldn't admit. The next morning, the sun rose hot over the Whitaker Ranch, a sprawling 5,000-acre spread where cattle roamed freely and the air hummed with the rhythm of hard work. Tom Whitaker was a pillar of the community, mid-40s, broad-shouldered, with a mustache that screamed old-school cowboy. He'd hired me on a whim after seeing my resume online, desperate for hands during calving season. "You're city folk, but you'll toughen up," he'd said with a firm handshake. Little did he know I was running from more than unemployment. I was fleeing the judgment of my devout Catholic family who still believed my phase in college was just that, a phase. Jake Riley, the foreman, was the real enigma. 32, with sun-bleached hair under his Stetson and eyes like stormy skies. He moved with the grace of someone born to the saddle. He assigned me to fence repair on my first day, watching me struggle with the barbed wire until my hands bled. "Easy there, Harlan," he grunted, stepping in to show me the right twist. His touch on my arm lingered a second too long, sending a jolt through me that I dismissed as exhaustion. But that overheard conversation replayed in my mind, stirring a mix of envy and fear. As days blurred into weeks, I threw myself into the work, branding calves, mending saddles, driving the tractor under endless blue skies. The ranch hands were a rough bunch. Grizzled veterans like Old Hank, who spat tobacco and preached about real men, and young bucks like Miguel, who joked about everything but family honor. I kept my head down, but Jake's presence was unavoidable. He'd ride up on his bay gelding, barking orders, yet there was a softness when he spoke to me alone. "You're picking it up quick, Alex. Not like the last city boy who quit after a week." One night, after a grueling day herding strays, we gathered around the fire pit. Beers flowed, stories flew, and the stars overhead felt like accusatory eyes. Tom joined us briefly, his wife Elena staying inside with their 2 kids. She was elegant, a former teacher from town, but her smiles never reached her eyes. I watched Tom and Jake exchange glances, subtle but loaded. My stomach twisted. Should I say something? Pretend I heard nothing? The moral quandary gnawed at me. Loyalty to my new employer versus the truth that could free them or destroy everything. The tension escalated at the annual ranch barbecue, a tradition that drew neighbors from miles around. Smoke from the grill mingled with laughter, kids chasing fireflies as country music blared from speakers. I was flipping burgers when I saw Tom pull Jake into the shadows behind the tool shed. Curiosity, or was it jealousy, drove me closer. "We have to tell her," Jake insisted. "I can't live like this anymore." Tom's response was desperate. "You think it's easy? My father's legacy is this ranch. If word gets out, we'll lose it all: bank loans, community support, and the kids." I backed away, but not before Elena appeared, her face pale. "Alex, have you seen Tom?" she asked, her voice steady but eyes searching. I lied, pointing vaguely toward the house. Guilt surged through me. That night, alone in my bunkhouse, I wrestled with my own secrets. Back in Chicago, I dated women to please my parents, but my heart had always wandered. Jake's situation mirrored my fears. What if coming out meant losing family, home, everything? The next day, Jake cornered me in the stables. "You look like hell, Harlan. Something eating you? His concern felt genuine, and for a moment I almost confessed. Instead, I muttered about homesickness. He clapped my shoulder. Ranch life ain't for everyone, but stick it out. Might find what you're looking for. His words hung heavy, igniting a spark I tried to extinguish. As calving season peaked, so did the drama. A storm hit hard, flooding pastures and scattering the herd. We worked through the night, Jake leading the charge. Soaked and exhausted, we sheltered in a line shack. Tom was there too, coordinating by radio. In the dim lantern light, their hands brushed accidentally or not, and I saw Elena's suspicions weren't baseless. My internal conflict boiled. Was their love wrong? Or was society's judgment the real crime? By the end of that week, I decided to stay silent, burying my attraction to Jake. But fate had other plans. During a routine vet visit, Hank overheard a snippet of conversation between Tom and Jake, misinterpreting it as business talk. Rumors spread like wildfire in small-town Montana. Whispers at the feed store, sidelong glances at church. Tom's face grew haggard, Elena distant. One evening, Jake rode out to where I was fixing a gate. "Alex, I need to talk." His voice was raw. "Tom's ending it. Says it's too risky." Pain etched his features, and I felt a pull to comfort him. "Why tell me?" I asked. He hesitated. "Because I see myself in you. The way you look at the world. Like you're hiding too." That confession cracked something in me. We talked for hours under the setting sun, sharing stories of suppressed desires and family expectations. Jake's parents had disowned him years ago for a youthful indiscretion. He'd found solace in Tom, but at what cost? My own tale spilled out. My father's ultimatum, be normal or don't come home. For the first time, I felt seen. But the peace was short-lived. Elena confronted Tom that night, screams echoing from the main house. The kids cried. The hands pretended not to hear. In the chaos, I realized my silence had contributed to the buildup. Should I have spoken up earlier? The question haunted me as the ranch teetered on the brink. The fallout from Elena's confrontation rippled through the ranch like aftershocks from an earthquake. Tom spent the next day locked in his office, emerging only to bark orders with a voice hoarse from arguing. Elena packed a bag and took the kids to her sisters in town, leaving a note that read simply, "I need time." The hands whispered among themselves, speculation running wild. Hank, ever the traditionalist, grumbled about modern sins invading good folk. I kept my mouth shut, but guilt gnawed deeper. Jake threw himself into work, his usual confidence shattered. We crossed paths mending a broken fence line, the Montana wind whipping dust into our eyes. "This is my fault," he muttered, hammering a post with unnecessary force. "Should have known better than to push." I wanted to argue, to say love shouldn't be a fault, but my own cowardice held me back. Instead, I offered, "Sometimes pushing is the only way to break free." He looked at me then, really looked, and something shifted in the air between us. As the days dragged on, the ranch felt like a pressure cooker. Tom's brother, a banker from Billings, arrived unannounced, sniffing around the finances. "Heard there's trouble," he said over coffee, his eyes sharp. Tom deflected, but I overheard him later on the phone. "If this gets out, the loans dry up. No one wants to back a, you know?" The word hung unspoken, scandal. It hit me how intertwined personal lives were with business in these parts. One wrong move, and generations of Whitaker legacy could crumble. My family called that weak, my mother's voice laced with concern. "Alex, when are you coming home? Your father misses you." I lied about thriving, but her questions probed deeper. "Met any nice girls out there?" The irony burned. Back in Chicago, they'd set me up on blind dates, ignoring my hints. Now, miles away, I was confronting truths they'd never accept. Hanging up, I felt isolated, the vast plains mirroring my emptiness. Jake sought me out more often, our conversations turning intimate. One afternoon, riding out to check on calves, he opened up about his past. Grew up in Wyoming, strict Mormon family. Came out at 18, got kicked out. Wandered until Tom hired me. His story mirrored mine in reverse. I'd stayed closeted to keep the peace. "What about you?" he asked. Haltingly, I admitted my college fling with a guy, how I'd buried it under layers of denial. "Feels like betrayal to even think about it," I said. Jake nodded. "Betrayal to who? Them or yourself?" That question lingered as tensions mounted. Elena returned, but the house was cold. She cornered me in the kitchen one morning. "Alex, you've been here a while. Notice anything off?" Her eyes pleaded for confirmation. I froze, torn between loyalty to Tom and pity for her. "Nothing, ma'am." I lied again, but the lie cost me. Sleep evaded me, dreams filled with confrontations. The breaking point came at the town hall meeting. The community was debating a new anti-discrimination ordinance, sparked by a recent incident at the local high school. Tom, as a prominent rancher, was expected to speak. Jake urged him privately, "Stand up for us." But Tom hedged, fearing backlash. I attended, sitting in the back, heart racing. When Tom took the mic, he said, "We need to protect traditional values. Change comes slow here." The crowd applauded. Jake's face fell. Outside, he punched the truck door. "Coward," he spat. That night, Jake showed up at my bunkhouse, bottle in hand. "Can't do this anymore." We drank, talked, and in a moment of vulnerability, he leaned in. Our kiss was tentative, charged with years of repression. But panic hit, I pulled away. "We can't. Not with everything falling apart." Hurt flashed in his eyes. "So you're just like him, hiding." The next day, remorse drove me to Tom. "I know about you and Jake," I blurted in his office. His face drained of color. "What do you want?" he asked, suspecting blackmail. "Nothing. Just be honest. For everyone's sake." He laughed bitterly. "Honesty? That'll cost me my marriage, my kid's future, this ranch." The conversation ended in stalemate, but seeds of change were planted. Rumors escalated when Hank caught wind of the affair from a loose-lipped neighbor. He confronted Tom in front of the hands. "Is it true? You and Riley?" Tom denied it vehemently, but the damage was done. Hank quit on the spot, vowing to tell the town. "Ain't working for sinners," he growled. The other hands shifted uncomfortably, loyalty fracturing. Jake and I argued that evening. "You told him?" he accused. "No, but maybe it's time," I countered. "Time for what? Ruin?" Our words turned sharp, exposing raw wounds. In the heat, I confessed my feelings. "I'm falling for you, but this secrecy is killing us all." He softened, but the divide widened. Elena filed for divorce quietly, citing irreconcilable differences. The kids were shuttled between homes, their confusion heartbreaking. Tom drowned in paperwork, the ranch's future uncertain as suppliers hesitated. My role shifted. I became the mediator, urging dialogue. But each conversation revealed deeper malthwan. Tom's fear of losing his identity as a family man, Jake's resentment at being the secret, my own battle with self-acceptance. A turning point came when my father called again, this time angry. "Heard from a friend. You're mixed up in some ranch scandal? Come home now." The news had spread even to Chicago. I refused, hanging up. For the first time, I chose truth over approval. As summer faded, the ranch auction loomed if loans weren't renewed. Tom faced a choice: come clean or lose everything. In a heated family meeting, Elena, kids absent, he admitted the affair. "I love Jake, but I love you too," he told her over the phone. Tears flowed. Forgiveness seemed distant. Jake and I rode out one last time, the air crisp with autumn. "What now?" I asked. "Fight or flee," he said. Our hands touched, a promise amid chaos. The auction notice arrived like a death sentence, pinned to the ranch gate for all to see. Creditors, spooked by the scandal, demanded repayment. Tom paced the porch, his once commanding presence reduced to a shadow. "This is it," he muttered. 50 years of Whitaker blood, gone. Elena, now living in town, refused to help, her lawyers citing the affair as grounds for asset division. The kids, caught in the crossfire, blamed everyone. Tom for lying, Jake for intruding, even me for not stopping it sooner. I felt the weight of my decisions. Had my confession to Tom accelerated the collapse? Or was it inevitable? Jake and I grew closer in the turmoil, stolen moments in the barn becoming anchors. But society's judgment loomed large. At the local diner, stares followed us. "Faggots ruining good land," someone whispered. Jake shrugged it off, but I saw the toll. His shoulders slumped, eyes wary. Community backlash intensified. The church, where Tom had been a deacon, revoked his position. Neighbors boycotted ranch products. Old friends turned away. My internal struggle peaked. Was love worth this destruction? In quiet nights, I journaled my thoughts, weighing morality against desire. Dad's words echoed, "God doesn't make mistakes, but choices do." Yet, seeing Jake's resilience, I questioned whose God we were serving. A confrontation brewed when Tom's brother returned, demanding control. "You've shamed the family," he snarled in the living room. Jake intervened. "Love isn't shame." The argument escalated, fists nearly flying. I pulled Jake away, but the damage deepened family rifts. Tom's son, 12-year-old Ben, overheard and ran off, found hours later by the creek, sobbing. "Why'd you have to ruin everything?" he asked Tom. The pain was visceral, a child's innocence shattered. Amid the chaos, Jake proposed we leave. Start fresh somewhere liberal, like California. The idea tempted me, escape the judgment, build a life openly. But abandoning Tom felt like betrayal. "He needs us," I argued. Our debates turned heated, exposing cracks. Jake's impatience versus my caution. One night, after too much whiskey, he accused me of cowardice. "You're still hiding, Alex. From your family, from yourself." Stung, I stormed out, riding into the night. Dawn found me at the old oak tree, a ranch landmark. Memories flooded. First days, overheard secrets, budding feelings. Clarity hit. Staying silent had prolonged suffering. Action, though painful, forced growth. Returning, I found Jake packing. "Don't go," I pleaded. We reconciled, deciding to fight together. Tom called a town meeting a bold move. In the packed hall, he stood tall. "I've lived a lie. I love Jake Riley. Cost me my marriage, maybe my ranch. But hiding cost more, my soul." Gasps rippled. Some walked out. Others, surprisingly, stayed. A young teacher spoke up. "My brother's gay. You're not alone." The ordinance passed narrowly, a small victory amid loss. But personal costs mounted. Elena won custody. The kids distanced themselves. Tom sold parcels to pay debts, shrinking the legacy. Jake faced vandalism, his truck keyed with slurs. My family disowned me via email. "You've chosen sin over blood." The rejection burned, but liberation followed. No more pretending. As winter approached, we adapted. I took over more duties, proving my worth. Jake and I navigated our relationship openly, facing stares but gaining allies. A neighbor's son came out, crediting Tom's courage. Ripples of change spread, challenging entrenched views. Yet doubts lingered. In bed one night, Jake whispered, "Was it worth it?" I hesitated. The ranch was saved, barely, but scarred. Families fractured, trust eroded. Moral ambiguities haunted. Tom's infidelity versus authenticity. Societal progress versus individual pain. A betrayal surfaced when Miguel confessed he'd spread rumors for a rival rancher, seeking a better job. "Didn't think it'd go this far," he admitted. Tom fired him, but the wound festered. Trust among hands evaporated, paranoia set in. My turning point came visiting Elena. "I'm sorry," I said. She sighed. "We all made choices. Tom chose Jake over us." Her words stung, highlighting the zero-sum game of love in a divided world. Back at the ranch, Tom confronted Jake. "I gave up everything for you. Don't make me regret it." Jake's response, "Love isn't a trade." The argument revealed lingering resentments, testing their bond. For me, embracing Jake meant shedding old skin. I wrote my parents a letter, explaining my truth. No response came, but peace settled. Actions had consequences, but so did inaction. As snow blanketed the plains, the ranch endured, a testament to resilience. But scars remained, reminders of the price paid for authenticity. Winter gripped Montana in icy silence, the ranch a fortress against blizzards and bitterness. Tom and Jake's relationship, now public, faced relentless scrutiny. Anonymous letters arrived. Leave or else. We installed cameras, but fear lingered. My role evolved. I became confidant to both, mediating disputes born of stress. He's pulling away, Jake confided one frozen morning, steam rising from coffee mugs. Tom, burdened by debt, grew distant, regretting his confession. The doubt fueled arguments, eroding their foundation. Society's backlash extended beyond the ranch. At the feed store, suppliers jacked prices, citing moral clauses. Protests formed outside church, signs reading, "Protect our values." Tom, once revered, became a pariah. His daughter, 10-year-old Lily, faced bullying at school. "Your dad's a queer." She stopped talking, withdrawing into books. The human cost hit hardest, innocence paying for adult choices. My own awakening deepened. With Jake, moments of joy pierced the gloom. Shared rides, quiet dinners. But guilt shadowed us. "We're the reason for this," I said once. He shook his head. "No, prejudice is. Our love blossomed amid adversity. But at what expense?" Ethical dilemmas swirled. Prioritize self over family? Challenge norms or conform? A crisis peaked when Ben ran away, note blaming Tom. We searched through snow, finding him at the old line shack, hypothermic. Hospitalized, he confessed confusion. "I don't understand why you couldn't just be normal." Tom broke down, vowing change. But what change? Suppress again? The hospital vigil forced reflections. Tom on his double life, Jake on pushing too hard, me on enabling secrecy.
Elena visited, atroce forming.
"For the kids," she said. Co-parenting talks began, fragile but necessary. Yet betrayal lurked. I discovered Jake had confided in an ex-lover online, venting frustrations. "Tom's weak," he'd written. Confronted, he apologized. I was scared. Trust fractured. Our relationship strained. Community tides shifted slowly. A support group formed in town, inspired by Tom's story. Allies emerged, a lesbian couple from nearby, offering solidarity. But opposition rallied. A petition to revoke ranch permits. Tom fought in court, draining resources. "Worth it?" his lawyer asked. "For truth, yes," Tom replied. My family's silence ended with a call from my sister. "Dad's had a heart attack. Blames the stress from your lifestyle." Guilt crashed over me. Fly back? Beg forgiveness? I chose to stay, sending money instead. The decision severed ties, but affirmed my path. As spring thawed the land, renewal hinted. Calves born symbolized hope. Jake and I recommitted, planning a quiet ceremony, defiant act against hate. But Tom wavered, suggesting pause. "The kids aren't ready." Jake exploded. "When will they be?" "We've waited years." The rift widened, Tom retreating to alcohol. A shocking revelation came via email. Tom's brother had orchestrated the financial squeeze, hoping to seize the ranch. "Family first," he claimed in confrontation. Tom disowned him, but the betrayal stung deep, blood turning on blood over morality. In the aftermath, we rebuilt. I proposed innovations. Ecotourism, attracting progressive visitors. Revenue trickled in, staving off ruin. Jake taught Ben to ride, bonding over horses. Lily opened up, drawing pictures of two dads. Healing crept in, but scars reminded of sacrifices.
Moral reckonings persisted.
Was Tom's affair justified? Jake's impatience selfish? My involvement complicit? Each choice carried weight, rippling outward. Summer returned, the barbecue revived, smaller, but inclusive. Allies attended. Foes stayed away. Tom addressed the group. "We've lost much, but gained freedom." Cheers mixed with tears. Jake and I stood together, hands linked. "Ready for whatever," he said. But uncertainties loomed. Society's acceptance fragile, personal wounds fresh. The ranch pulsed with new life as summer deepened, but undercurrents of unrest simmered. Tom's health declined, stress manifesting in chest pains. Doctor's orders: reduce workload. Jake stepped up as de facto manager, but resentment brewed. He's leaning on us too much, Jake confided. I mediated, but fatigue set in. Our relationship tested. Stolen kisses amid chores, but arguments over direction. We could leave, start our own place, Jake suggested. Tempting, but loyalty bound me. Society's evolution clashed with regression. The ordinance brought protections, but vandalism persisted. Fences cut, cattle spooked. Sheriff dismissed it as pranks, but we knew better. A town hall debate turned ugly. Conservatives railing against perversion, progressives defending rights. Tom spoke again, weaker but resolute. Love doesn't threaten values. Hate does. Applause sparse, but seeds planted. Personal awakenings culminated in visits. Elena brought the kids for weekends, awkward at first. Ben challenged Jake. You broke my family. Jake's response: your dad and I love each other. Love expands, doesn't break. Slowly, understanding dawned. Lily hugged Jake, whispering acceptance. But healing was nonlinear. Setbacks like Ben's school fights over his gay dad. My exile from family solidified. A letter arrived. You're dead to us. Devastating yet freeing. I channeled pain into advocacy, joining online forums, sharing our story anonymously. Responses varied. Support from strangers, vitriol from trolls. The exposure risked more backlash, but silence no longer an option. A major confrontation erupted when a rival rancher offered to buy out Tom, lowballing with threats, sell or face exposure nationwide. Tom refused, but the stress hospitalized him. In his absence, Jake and I uncovered embezzlement. Tom's brother again siphoning funds. We reported it, leading to arrest. Victory bittersweet. Family bonds severed forever. Tom recovered, grateful but changed. I almost lost it all for love. Was it right? He asked. Jake's embrace answered, but doubts lingered. Our trio formed an unconventional unit, supporting each other through therapy sessions exploring guilt, betrayal, forgiveness. As fall approached, the ranch stabilized. Tourism boomed, attracting LGBTQ visitors seeking refuge. Stories shared around campfires, triumphs over prejudice. Jake and I married quietly, rings simple bands. Vows exchanged under the oak. Through storms and sun, we choose us, but choices echoed. Elena remarried, kids adapting to blended families. Tom grappled with solitude when Jake and I considered moving. Stay, he pleaded. We did for now. The saga taught harsh lessons. Authenticity demands sacrifice. Love challenges norms. Society evolves painfully. Damages, fractured families, lost legacies, emotional scars, balanced by growth. Acceptance, resilience, community. In the end, as stars wheeled overhead, one question remained. Was pursuing hidden love worth the widespread destruction it caused, or should secrets stay buried to preserve fragile peace?